All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Compasa. I want you guys to go and check out my new Substack article where I criticize the American patriots and perhaps in particular Scott Ritter. And the article is not aimed to destroy his name or be malicious in any way, shape, or form. I just don't agree with that, with certain aspects of his beliefs. I think in general he's a great analyst. He has vast experience, the vast amounts of knowledge, and I listen to him quite a lot. But he's not alone in this regard. I'm in this article criticizing a lot of these American patriots because I think they're delusional to a certain extent. Um, when Scott Ritter said that, and I talked about this in my previous video a little bit about that Israel doesn't share the same values as the United States. This is where I disagree. I think America does share the same values as Israel. I think America does share the same values as Nazi Germany, as fascist Italy, as Pinochet in Chile, and so forth. Why do I say that? Well, historically speaking, if we look at how America was formed, it was formed with brutal violence, extermination, segregationist, racist laws, an over-fixation on the purity of the white Anglo-Saxon race, and all of these things. A lot of these people also worship Trump. I really don't bring that up in the article that much. It was a pretty short article, but I can still bring that up. People like Jackson Hinkle. I don't know if this guy is like worship Trumps or if he's just a weird. I never understood his ideology. He talks about MAGA communism. MAGA communism. Oh, Trump is going to make things better. No, Trump is not going to make things better. Trump is a freaking war criminal. Okay? And you even admitted that once. And yet you're still here and cherry on this guy. I never understood this. This is the same man that bombed and killed Qasem Soleimani, one of the leading people to fight ISIS. That is to say, Daesh, the Islamic State as it's known, right? One of the most fascistic forces of our modern day. Okay? He was not a non-interventionist. He might have talked about it. But if you look at the people that he was surrounded by, John Bolton, Mike Pompeo, and so forth, these weren't non-interventionist people. And hey, who knows? Maybe Trump had some good intentions. I don't know, okay? A lot of these American politicians do. Well, at least they claim to. I think they're lying, to be honest with you. But let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. This system changes them once they get into power. Everybody talked about how Trump was so good with Russia and Vladimir Putin and whatnot. And yet the man tore up the nuclear I forgot what it was. But it was the nuclear... I lost the name of it. But he tore up the deal that would limit the nuclear weapons, right? So now we're in the middle of a freaking nuclear arms race. No, Donald Trump was incompetent. Okay? There's a reason why the deep state don't want his dumb ass in power. Well, are you a Democrat? No, fuck no, I'm not a Democrat. I don't believe in this American... I'm not even American, just for you to know. I live in Sweden. Not that our political parties are any freaking better. I mean, there are barely any differences between them in terms of economic policies, foreign policy. They fight about the taxation here and there, but that's about it. They both ruined the country. But the Democrats and the Republicans are the same party, basically. They both want war. they both seek, and this is where I come into my my article. This is where I criticize Scott Ritter, and I talked about this in my former video as well a little bit, but I wanted to go a little deeper about that in this video. I criticize them because this is what America is. He constantly brings up the American Constitution. Oh, the Constitution says this. The Constitution is as much worth as the toilet paper that you wipe your ass with. Sorry to be so goddamn vulgar, but that's the truth. It's just a piece of paper. Sorry. America doesn't give a fuck about rules. I'm sorry that I curse, but that's the reality. Okay? And I know you're born and raised in the United States, and you have your belief systems, and I'm not going to try and like force you to believe the way I believe in whatever. And I appreciate that you're anti-war, despite your contradictory beliefs. But I want all of you, the so-called American patriots, to open your eyes a little bit. There's something fundamentally wrong about the United States as a country. Okay? I wouldn't even consider the U.S. a country. I just view it as a big corporation, honestly. Because America doesn't have, it's not an ancient nation state like Ethiopia, like Iran, like Russia, like Greece. It's 300, 250 years old. That doesn't mean that good things haven't been produced in America. Obviously it has. Hollywood made some pretty good fucking movies that I still enjoy to this day. The Goodfellas and the Martin Scorsese movies. I love that shit. Even some of the, hood movies like Get Rich or Die Trying and all this stuff. We can argue if that's great or not because some of these movies maybe had some negative impact on the youth. But if we're just looking at it from a pure entertainment perspective, yeah, it was pretty good. But those are surface level things. If we dig deeper into American history, America is really not that different from modern day Israel. I mean, Jim Crow laws, redlining of districts. I mean, police brutality. You name it. Destruction of economic property. Black Wall Street, Oklahoma, Tulsa, which set back. All of these things contributed to the economic setback of, for example, African Americans, right? So I think America and Israel actually do share a lot of values. And even today, the American prison system, which is the largest in the world, it is highly racialized. Majority of the inmates are black and Hispanic. A lot of American police departments, they are trained in in Israel by Israeli police and military to basically view the communities that you police as enemies. And I would say that America indirectly has created some sort of a Darwinistic society, right? You guys don't even believe in universal healthcare, which is mind-boggling to me. You have to pay for your own ambulance to come and get you. I mean, this is crazy shit, right? But yeah, the strongest and the smartest will survive, and the weak will die off. No, here's the deal. Zionism, as well as National Socialism and fascism, got its ideas from the British Empire and the United States. Hitler himself, because Scott Ritter and many other American patriots and some conservatives do criticize Ukraine for being a fascist Nazi state, and rightfully so, it is. But the United States has historically backed well, I'll backtrack that. What I was about to say is that the United States has from a historic standpoint, they have also had this type of ideology, like this mentality of racial superiority. My ADHD is fucking up my brain a little bit, so I apologize. But when the Europeans arrived in the Americas, uh, they thought of themselves as ordained and destined by God as a superior race of people that can brutalize and kill the natives and steal their land, and which they did, right? However, it didn't start out that way. Just like Scott Ritter described in his article, I no longer stand with Israel. He talked about the tragedy of Nakba, right? How Israeli settlers tricked the Arabs into believing that they were peace-loving friends, and the Arabs even some of the Arabs even gave them water and protected their kibbutzes and settlements and whatever. But as soon as the Israelis or the European Jewish settlers felt like they didn't need their assistance anymore, and they felt like they had no place in a future Israeli nation, which, by the way, the Arabs wanted to be part of. This is the tragic part, right? Um, they said, "Fuck it, let's exterminate these people. Let's kill them. Let's isolate them in a landmass, which is today is like the Gaza Strip, right? Look at your Native American population. The European settlers exterminated them. Now there's a few nations left, isolated in Indian reserves, right? They're dying of unemployment, suicide, drug use, you name it, crime. It's a shit show. So, is America really that different in terms of mentality than Israel? I don't think it is. Neither was Nazi Germany, by the way. Nazi Germany, like I said, was very inspired by the American eugenics laws. So I think that these people, Scott Ritter is not alone in this regard. Um, I still think you guys should support his work. He's a great analyst, like I said. He is older than me, and I respect him. I believe in hierarchies to a certain extent, and I think you should respect the elderly, and especially if they come with wisdom. But if they say something that I think is not correct, then I will pinpoint that out respectfully, right? Um, Still a big fan, and I'll listen to his work a lot of times. So, but yes, thank you guys for listening. And if Scott Ritter wants to respond to anything I have said, he is more than welcome to do so. I want to have an open, respectful dialogue, and yeah, please let me know. Thank you guys. Like the video and hit the subscribe button, and subscribe to my Substack. Thank you.